Okay, it's time for real band names. I admit I'm a little spooked by this thing. My son has really been bugging me. I got a call from my oncologist because I'm 70 years old and I'm immunocompromised. I'm afraid. And this doc says, I got this feeling like that if I catch this thing that I'm a goner. Sometimes, yeah, you ever get struck by an old phrase that you never thought about, and then the truth of it hits you? Could be anything. Anything. Once I was driving on my way from 87 through Saugerties into Woodstock. Was it that road? Maybe. I don't know. And there was this antique shop. There's antique shops everywhere back east. Everywhere. And this place was called Lock, Stock, and Barrel. Now that's a phrase you grow up with. Well, I did, we did, our generation did. Okay, boomer. Anyway, and you know what it means. It means the whole thing. Lock, stock, and barrel means the whole thing. But as I was driving along and I saw lock, stock, and barrel, all of a sudden it hit me in a fresh way, as if, let's say you were teaching a foreign student and they didn't know English at all, and they said, "What does this lock, stock, and barrel mean?" And you'd say, "Well, it means the whole thing, the whole enchilada." Yeah, but what do you mean, lock, stock, and what is that? So I had to think about it. I realized as I drove by the sign that I didn't really know what that was supposed to mean. Lock, stock, and barrel. What is that? I figured it out. Now, I'll save the answer for next time so you can figure it out on your own, so I don't ruin it for you. Maybe you just go, "Oh, it's this," maybe it's obvious to you. It's, I've asked other people, it's not obvious to a lot of people. Once you know it's obvious, it's like the answers on Jeopardy. If you know the answer, it's easy. Anyway, a lot of those old phrases, a lot of them come from early New England. Like, mind your P's and Q's. It'd be some kind of a tavern, or if you didn't have any, if you were short on money and you wanted to get a drink, and you wanted to put it on your tab, there was a chalkboard. This is the way it was told to me, and if you got a pint, there'd be your initials or whatever your name was, and you get a P for a pint, and a quart if you got a quart. So you had to keep track of what you were spending. You had to mind your P's and Q's. That's another phrase you don't think about. Mind your P's and Q's. You know what that means. Pay attention to your business. But what do you mean, mind your P's and Q's? Where P's and Q's come from? That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about all these old phrases that we grew up with, and because we grew up with them, we never questioned them. Like God and stuff like that. You just go, "Oh yeah." Well, the phrase that occurred to me today, because I've been thinking about, I was trying to work out this delivery thing, and and it's like, it's not grooving me. I just want to go to Whole Foods and get in and get out and do my thing, but I'm spooked. There's 19 deaths in Orange County now, and I don't want to win that lottery. You know what I mean? And I just thought of this old phrase, don't go out in this weather, you'll catch your death. You'll catch your death. Yeah. The weight of that phrase kind of landed with a thud in my mind. That's why people had so many kids in the old days. They had a lot of kids. You got married and you just started pumping them out. As soon as a couple had one, they got busy making another. So they just have a succession. Over the next 10 years, they'd have 10, 12 kids. Because the chances were, you're going to lose half of them. Because people got sick in those days. Here we are worrying about the coronavirus. Back in those days, if you got a sniffle, it's like, uh-oh. You don't know what. Any kind of cold, the bacteria or the virus, whatever it was, the mortality rate for kids, very, you'd be like, if you'd start to feel like you're out of the woods if your kid made it to 10. So if you had 10 kids, you're lucky if 5 made it or 4 made it. Okay, we left off with what was it? Something like stiff cat. Yeah, stiff dead cat. All right, here we go. Frosted Suede, the Bambi Molesters, Frumious Bandersnatch, Pabst, Pabst Smear, Crazy Taco Cafeteria, Neurotic Arseholes, Cheap Knob Gags, Aerosol Methods, Satan's Cheerleaders, Screaming Broccoli, Conga Fury, When People Were Shorter and Lived by the Water, The Hostile Amish, Asian Kung Fu Generation, Underpants Machine, Jodie Foster's Army, Evil Gaze Bow, Bondage Fruit, Captain Cardiac and the Coronaries, Trailer Park Casanovas, Dracula Milk Toast, Toilet Boys, Revolting Cocks, Nocturnal Emissions, Zorro and the Blue Footballs, Chainsaw Gutsfuck, Chainsaw Gutsfuck, Danger Wank, Les Lee Press On and the Nails, Dead Milkmen, Pimps of Venus, Johnny Uterus and the Fallopian Tubes, Bloated Scrotum, Trampled by Turtles, Men Among Poodles, Where's the Pope? The Glands of External Secretion, Juggling Death Squad, The Vast Void of Empty Nothingness, The Morbid Tavern Apple Choir, Mussolini Head Kick, Stupid White People, When Saints Go Machine, Did Lee Squat, Mustard Plug, Nomad Nipples, Sour Puppet, David Hasselhoff, Poop Fist, Pregnant Men, The Yams from Outer Space, Go-Kart Mozart, Chickens on Smack, My Three Scum, Adventures in Shrubbery, Cycle Sluts from Hell. Oh, I know what that's from. That's from The Owl and the Pussycat. Good movie. George Segal and Barbra Streisand. George Segal played like a librarian or something. He was the owl, and Barbara Streisand played a woman of the night. Une Frau der Nacht. Yeah. And and he was walking through Times Square, and he saw she was in some porn movies, and he was starting to fall for her, but he was dismayed because she was a hooker, and she'd done some porn movies. And he was walking through he was walking through Times Square, and he looks up and one of those cheesy, back in the 70s. Oh my God, Times Square was just what a shithole. And one of those little porn theaters, and he happened to know. Oh yeah, what movies were you in? She goes, Psycho Sluts from Hell, and so we looked up and there it was, Psycho Sluts from Hell. So he was like, oh God, his curiosity, he couldn't help it. And that's a funny scene of him going in too, because there's a guy with he's at the window there, and there's some chick there, and there's a guy working with a jackhammer right behind him on the street. So you hear him, and he goes, I want to see Psycho Sluts from Hell. And she goes, what? I want to see Psycho Sluts from Hell. What? And he goes, I want to see, and the guy stops, Psycho Sluts from Hell. And everybody in the street goes, so then he goes in there, and so he watches the movie, but you don't see the movie, you just see his face. That's all you got to see. It's just horror and dismay. And the soundtrack is great because you hear this pork, and Barbara Streisand, who's got a great comedic voice, you hear her going, yeah, attaboy, yeah, that's it, attaboy. Yeah. Very funny. The Owl and the Pussycat. So that's an obscure reference right there. Psycho Sluts from Hell. Okay? Ass Pounder. The Callous Towel Boy. The Callous Towel Boys. Reluctant Stereotypes. The Nipple Erectors. Helen Keller Plaid. Buddy, what's his name? And the other fellas. Ultimate Spinach. I had their damn record. Ultimate Spinach. I had their record. Noodle Muffin and the Pig Squints. The Introspective Playboy. The Minstrel Cramps. Shitty bad. Shitty. Fuck Off Machete. Attila the Stockbroker. Sex Clark 5. Hindu Garage Sale. Unidentified Rocking Sausage. Tipsy Slut. Dirty Granny Tales. Duran. A Boy Named Gomer. Bad Cherry Poppin' Daddies. I got shot by Dick Cheney. Ganaga Regan. And the Most Sorted Pies. The Fierce Nipples. The tennis ball's bigger than the golf ball. Flopping body. Men with issues. No kidding. Dicks on fire. Scott. Godspeed, you fuckface. Queer Wookie. Abstract Penis Brigade. Shit Disco. The Urinals. Totally fucking gay. Lost Underpants of Doom. Ever-present fullness. A cat born in an oven isn't a cake. cultivated bimbo. Stop calling me Frank.